Good evening. Welcome to Epiphany Lutheran Church in Richmond, Virginia. I'm Kevin Barger. Thanks for joining us for our Music Minute this evening, where we're taking a look at the hymns we'll be using in worship tomorrow for the third Sunday of Advent. We'll start with On Jordan's Banks, the Baptist's Cry, one I think we're all pretty familiar with. This was originally written in Latin, and Charles Coffin was the writer. He wrote more than 100 hymns, and he was also the rector of the University of Paris. This tune was in manuscript form from a 15th century Latin Christmas song, and the hymn was an interpretation into an existing chant. Michael Praetorius was responsible for the tune, and he was the son of a Lutheran who was a colleague of none other than Martin Luther. This is On Jordan's Banks, the Baptist's Cry. So, how wonderful. The piano was tuned today, so it sounds marvelous. All right, we will change gears a little bit. So, the first one was written in Latin, and the next hymn comes to us from Cameroon. And this is He Came Down. It was written by John Bell, and he first heard it in the mid-1980s when he was officiating a wedding in Frankfurt, Germany. And he says that the couple had requested that it be sung unaccompanied with all of the wedding guests in a circle, and that was reminiscent of the ring shout prevalent in the music of enslaved Africans in North America and the Caribbean. So they moved in a circle counterclockwise, using their hand to beckon Christ, this is at the wedding, and as it were from heaven to earth. And Bell transcribed this song from that experience, and that's what he was trying to create. So it's very short, it's very easy, it's repetitious, and so this won't be much of it, but it'll be a lot of fun tomorrow to sing together. So it's that infectious excitement, and you can just envision this dance that they're doing. That makes it so special. Next, we'll move to communion. I'm going to slide over to the organ for this, but I'll tell you about it first. This comes from All Creation Sing. It's called Now the Heavens Start to Whisper. And this is a traditional tune from Wales, and it's pairing elegantly with a contemporary text by Mary Louise Bringle. And it's a new tune, pretty much, to Lutheran hymnals. The form is pretty easy. It's 3 lines being identical. So it's a 4-line hymn. 3 of them are the identical notes, so it makes it pretty easy to learn. Both the text and tune have sort of a quietness about them, and you'll notice that in the words, that we have whisper, slumber, stirring faint within, drift away. These are all reminders that Christ comes in the quiet so that our hearts grow soft and warm. Now the heavens start to whisper. That is based on a lullaby, Siagan, and you can hear that really in that arrangement. Last but not least, People Look East. And this comes from the Oxford Book of Carols. So we are just all over the place today. Latin and Cameroon and Oxford. It's very rich in imagery. It shows love as a guest, as a rose, as a star, and Lord. It talks about every peak and valley humming, a little reminiscent from last week in Advent 2. The author of the text wrote Morning Has Broken, and the text for that. That author is a big children's writer, so it is filled with imagery and imagination. The text is set against a French tune, and it's named for a city in eastern France where it originated. This is People Look East. All right. Well, hopefully you enjoyed that. I just love Advent, these wonderful hymns that we only get to sing once a year sometimes, and they're just so rich and wonderful. So thanks for joining us this evening. If you're joining us for worship tomorrow, that will be at 8:30 and 11 o'clock in the sanctuary, and 11 o'clock service will be live streamed on our YouTube channel. Thanks again for joining. Have a great evening.